I don't know how to start this shit, so I'm gonna start it how I think it needs to be started. It like 2 days ago, I was listening to this song, and I was in the shower just vibing out to some music, and this song comes on, and it was deep, it was real. You could tell whoever wrote it put a lot of thought, a lot of emotion behind it. You know what I'm saying? So I came on here. I decided, hey, I want to break this down. It's like fucking slide into the water. I want to break down what this song, truly means to me, what I hope it means to the rest of you, um, and just all that. So it's a song. I'll drop a link in the description. It goes, "Rest in peace, my granny. She got hit by a bazooka. Yeah, I think about her every time I hit the hookah." Which, resonated with me. Not because I smoke a lot of hookah or at all ever have smoked hookah. Just not something that tickles my fancy, as the kids say. Um, but it's one of those things that, like, if you are out at a hookah lounge, hookah bar, wherever you may go, probably owned by some Middle Eastern folks, or I don't know, that's what they do, or whatever you do, or whomever you are. Um, you're out trying to have a good time, having a couple drinks, a little smoking. We love it. My man is stuck every time he thinks about, or he's smoking the hookah. He's thinking about his granny, which got hit by a bazooka. Now, it does happen to be a very clever, very solid rhyme, I must say. But still, it's kind of tough that, in situations where my man is clearly just trying to have fun, he's left thinking about his grandmother who got hit by a bazooka, which is not if you get, I don't know if anyone here has ever been hit by a bazooka. I have not. Uh, Full disclaimer. I just don't, that's not a good way to go, not a good thing to have happen to you. You don't want to be getting hit by a bazooka. It is, not a great way to go. You probably are going to get blown to absolute smithereens. It's just not a fun time. Not a fun time. Not a very strong way to go. It's not something that's heroic, like jumping in front of a train. There's better ways to die, other than getting hit by a bazooka. But things happen in life. Sometimes you're always at risk. There's a non-zero chance you will get hit by a bazooka at some point in your life, and I think part of living is being okay with that as well. So, that's one layer about it. And then the next line, I was trying to teach my little sister, then I heard out my window, kaboom. It sounded like a missile, which, if I'm not mistaken, and I'll put this up on the screen. I'm going to Google this after this because I seriously don't know. And I don't even know if you can add, picture in picture to Microsoft Movie Clip Champ. Let's be honest with each other. That's what I'm going to be using. I don't know if bazookas shoot missiles. I guess they do at some level. I don't know if it's like, I don't know what the definition of a missile is, and if a bazooka shoots a missile. But, I mean, by my best guess, I would have to assume that bazookas do shoot missiles. So I don't know what that line's all about. I understand it's a clever line. It went by my window, sounded like a missile. He says it better, but that's a little confusion. I think that warrants more digging into. Maybe if I do another analysis of this song in particular, I will get into that. But yeah, that's tough. Like, you're trying to teach a little sister, and then you hear a bazooka shot go by, and it hits your grandmother. It's tough. That's tough. Yeah, think about her every time you're hitting the hookah, getting hit by a missile, bazooka shot. It's terrible. And, it repeats a couple times. There's a couple of lines. I don't know if they are worth getting into. I think they're just kind of filler. In fact, let's pull them up right now and let's see what the other lines are. Can I even share the lyrics? I can't even look at the lyrics. But I know that Emmanuel Bright is credited as the head lyricist on this video. So I don't know if Emmanuel's watching this. I don't know if anybody's going to be watching this, frankly. But Emmanuel, if you are watching this, my deepest condolences for your grandmother that, got hit by a bazooka. It's not a great way for your grandmother to go. And I know that must be painful for you and your family to have to go through. My deepest condolences to you, sir. I hope things get better. But yeah. There's nothing more in life than, I have had some great grandparents. I'm very blessed to, say that my grandparents are cool people. They grandparents play such an important role in your life. If you do have, said grandparents, it could be anybody. Family in general, I think, is extremely important. Having a strong family structure, and there's a certain unique relationship that you have with your grandparents. They usually are spoiling you absolutely rotten, or they're a hard ass dickhead, whatever. And there's no in between. You don't really have like a chill relationship with your grandparents. It's either they're complete dickheads and you just don't want to talk to them. Like, I have actually one of my grandpas is like that. At least they're dead, but he was like that, and I never really wanted to talk to the guy. But like my two grandmothers, not married. I don't know why I said it like that. Like they're married to each other. They're not. They're just, the two grandmothers I have, not related to each other in the slightest, other than by not even have the same last name. I have two grandmothers, full stop. And I've had a great relationship with them. They have spoiled me absolutely disgustingly rotten, buying me gifts, hanging out with me. We've done all kinds of stuff together. One of my grandmothers taught me how to play Sudoku. The other taught me how to garden. It's a very odd skill to have as a 21-year-old straight guy. But you know what? I know how to take care of plants now. So that's something that I don't know if it warrants further discussion, but it's a good thing to know, I guess. And when the apocalypse comes, which these days you never know, I could be the one that, that plants all the food, and we can save us from the apocalypse when the bunker comes around and people need to eat. But yeah, it's a special kind of relationship you have with your grandparents, and something that you should treasure, and I hope most of you treasure and value. If you don't have great grandparents, I do apologize. But you know what? A wise man once said, family isn't always the people that you're related to, but they are the people that, you do life with. Which, it's a great quote, because, that is true. Some people don't have very strong family structures. This guy doesn't anymore. His grandmother got shot by a bazooka. And, here we are. We live in a world where things like that happen. But final stats on display for this game: 33 eliminations, 15 deaths. That's a 2.2 KDR. I did lead the team in kills. This guy went 0 for 11. Wow. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the first episode of the Bozzcast. If you did, drop a comment down below. If you have any other topics, songs, anything you want me to discuss, be very happy to discuss it with you. And yeah, have a wonderful evening.